how will this come to be, and how will you say? At the clear of this day, if I will explain the reasons of a sick generation that only gives, like even with the worst of the conditions all around, and my struggle and my suffering of millions, that never stops for the reason of they concedes at the clear that they will ever only worth for whatever they, at the sickness of them conscience, real intentional meaning, megalomaniac at the shape of the sickness that you never imagined it says got to be, and we all should die, they says, for what they should deserve. What you just saw there, I show you again, is one of the whole of the things that I capable naturally do. This is a very software which trials I got, and the same company endorsing with license office about this. I am working with justice bodies and states bodies, and this is a design I just done yesterday while and through some special sessions and need for justice bodies and for license office and government of Israel and US. This is one of the whole, not only this, buildings, cars, and much other like spacecrafts and all class of designings, tracks, four-wheel drives, and much other things I naturally do. I don't use mind control. I don't use witchcraft. I am who I am. And capacity, I don't diminish, and I won't. And I exist. Capacity, I do. Myself. The reality of this is something yesterday, all through afternoon French, which is we're working a project. How will I do on the clear fact of the ideas and the coefficients as structural for this class to be a very hybrid with a pulse engine, photonic element which millionesium of second each delivers a charge of photons over 9 million joules in a compact 2.5 cubic meters engine at the size of the power that the same Challenger to the launching delivers in the completeness. Only a compact one. Similar like. The push is really awesome and there's no plasma energy. Is technology that Eladon gave us. Is engineering at the new shape of the season. And suddenly the clear fact of this beauty, which I love, I like it, it's attractive, it's nice, shapes cyberized at the season, like if there will be the Challenger itself, but a little modern, delivered into the new lines, into the shape like a very DMT. So polygonally, and it's awesome. And suddenly the reality of this that I sent to Justice Paris, and we were working, and these were already produced, the whole of the Buenos Aires night, in a very special technology that we also in January developed. Justice Paris, Government of Israel, with, and Government of US, and we, Justice Paris of We Are. רווח מתלי לסוף לבפך מצך לגשפט לקיר ובפך קוד איבו תיגש ואת לקח מתינים. It were yesterday and already is flying all over. And while enduring, Ejército Argentino, Fuerza Aérea Argentina, taking the first ever, which were not distinguished but for the reason of Blech Masish Flimim, but nothing to do with this. So weird and so different. This is the prime pure lines, like I always said, since I am working with Justice Parties making this. I always, since my children, had ideas and realities for the making, like a very remaining that the stolen documents, but this sickness, so all through that were recovered in a very weird way, in a very special class of a egg. Sorry for the N missing. It worked a very klezma scene like you can see today a monovolume styling Scenic Renault, or maybe some Sarah Picasso of the first ever Citroën. So suddenly you see Klaus Van Eyck, a little Atlas Smith Scenic Skeleti, oval, but on the condition of certain polygonally smooth lines, with a very 4 wheels at the styling Citroën 3CV that used to be, but inside of the suspension helicoidal on this class of an arms, holding the wheels with the possibility to retracting and putting up or putting down foreground, with the inside traction on the Rimbas Technicas Simaplen directly with the Plasma Platin. And suddenly at the reality of this, with a very double turbo in a very bastidor, the chassis compounding and holding like if there will be a helicopter with entrance air vents and out, for the disc will ever come up like a helicopter and overflowing, with stability on the sides, making that directionability on the closing, some vents, scapes or fugues, and others just remaining open. And at the reality of this, at mighty nature, thinking that will be an awesome flying car for me, with the simplicity of an engine giving the right motor torque on a very clean responsive speeds transmission. And suddenly like that much other ideas, like today from there, and this is not a lie, there were the idea of what it were the Maruti and Murut called were the same Thailand. While I were a kid, it were a very special designing I used to make in a 4-wheel drive, so compact, so tiny, so small, with a very class of a boat element right under in an only piece with the wheels and so tiny. And that were something like I done and I showed to someone in a very rustic way at trying the first ever lines for, and that were delivered into the Yanku company and not like a robbery without I don't know, and were a special moment for Klechmati Sonsin. And they produced the vehicle and still is around the streets in Thailand, in Russia, and so much other places. I were since so kid making this. And we were working with justice bodies and giving the reality of this, and I enjoy so much to share with the people that I belong with, the people that I love, with the right score, non stealing, but being myself and doing what I naturally do. At the clear of the soul, Ejército Argentino comparisons in front of the sickness they all are, saying that I will be the whole day the liars, because of they will command and they will do to me, and saying that evangelics gave them my life since my 5 and so early, and they will ever have rights to be me. With the sickness that generates, that lives on a culture of a delusional of a witch, and a delusional of a sickness, rapist that degenerate on heirs of seer, considered of supreme and being Sodom and Gomorrah, and evangelic saying to be. So suddenly further the people that doesn't has nothing to do for the risk of they to be murdered every day, also turn to making the plan of the patriotic, we are going to take the right condition and we have rights for instituting, if there will be institutions, courts for the armed forces, each an army, and saying that they have rights to making judgment and protecting them men's, and they have rights to taking our lives and making us like a clutch of meat. For they to put inside as the ways Sodom and Gomorrah, what they says they do, and destroying our lives and whatever, anytime, as every time, as anyone, as they designs and determines for the making, and taking me like a Corinth for the whole humanity from my 5 years old, and since, dare to keep on making. So suddenly all through this, for the keep on this were produced and already tasted until DMC with this engine and the structure and machinery flying all through until Mach 8 with a very chamber inside that doesn't affect the chief forces. And it's a very craft that we are incrementally making the possibility of a future in new season, with much other like I already sent and designed, and Adonai given us, El Chai, not Sodoma. And the delusional that generates making class of a very, they are gonna make tribute of them pride of Argentina with the pardon of victims on this land. And I am not gonna be hypocrite and manipulative, and I'm sorry for that. At the clear of the saying that they are gonna revenge and they are going to make the payment over stealing 704 nuclear heads over a trade at the US and Germany trading our people for daily rate. We have the people and they have the heads. And saying the rockets in a size as they concerns them pride and the way and the shape of a phallus, for them to feel proud, it will be the revenge for they to win and they to defeat. And saying this will be them and I will rob after they found out it were produced and tested for, let's come to US and let's come to Israel and let's come to the world and lies an office for and kill, sorry the term, as the mention. Rape and murder. F-word them all. Because of, we are going to say who is whom and what is what and who is of whom. And this came out from Argentina. And we don't know if they were not stolen. We know that one. And Kirchners are all the time with them. And Sodoma, Gomorrah ciudad, with a burden of victims, still theirs. And in the middle of this all, Lord wouldn't let me be who I am. Lord will punish himself and destroy his own nation. Because of a delusional that generates that says, Lord cannot be true, and if there's the doing and saying this way, such a son of a Nazi degenerados, cría de Sodoma. And I'm sorry for victims. So, Remaplef efech machali visot de viseshti latikav, Revefech mochali visot de visvat likim. And murdering people all around and saying we won and we win and it's what we need. And the pretended of churches and courts, Armed Forces Argentina each, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Fuerza Aérea Argentina, Marina, Tierra, Inteligencia, Artilleros, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Prefectura BMC, Policía Bonaerense, each degenerado, saying that they have rights and justifying themselves for anything they do and saying they have rights for homeland and everybody should die for them. That everything's okay for them. And forging and arranging and making whatever they want and putting inside Tribunales Argentina while murdering and destroying what United Evangelic saying justified and Kirchners. What they need for, we're coming back. And Comodoro P es una reventada, degenerada, abominable mierda. And always were the same, and I'm sorry the terms, is what they are. Juzgados federales, degenerados, criminales, abominados, reventada abominación, just like Kirchners all over where they go, overflowing, rotten, ever sickness, which they are. And this will be an offense. But it's the truth. So suddenly, this were on the always, because of, it's software, that's the reason why it obstructs. Don't you see it doesn't work? Just run to us. And keeps on making the same with everything and every time. And we are obstructed for a reason which is delegated, but your runners at liaison office at the right time are going to publicly put it at the clear of what this is. So suddenly, tells to the lion, se lo robó. Opportunistic that generates our other forces, our expertises, our forensics, our judges, and the president. For Christ's sakes. Idólatras degenerados, ruines degenerados. Am I your business still? Are you going to have your shake on luxury, crystal all over for everybody to see your osity of your rotten sick body? Having the fornication over whole Sodoma inside. Prostituta borda Alvear Piñeiro, forense, tribunales. At the lake of Chinese, your Bentley at the door making business upon me. Just to share whatever you have to say, giving you the share of the whole I am and I exist as centuries business, and I'm the liar. Because of you need a business. And you go to Shadley Kapachli, tribunales and Kirchners, brass coins. For you to have still your title. Don't you worry, here the liars we are going to handle. And try to bribe US, Israel and everybody, or don't you tell you, just take because of it's better for you, because if we are going to destroy you, if you don't have, oh my God, don't you turn to offense. You thought you were something, and you thought you were right. The liars, delusional, sick freaks, and I'm gonna put you dead at the right best of justice, and you have no idea. And you thought you will be someone, and you will be me. And you thought you will be anyone that has a virtue and a capacity and a reality to exist as persons of honesty and worth. But you, pieces of shit, Ejército Sodoma, Argentino, and your associated all, Kirchners, the same, and United Evangelics, are the shittest ever humanity never needed. And you cause already genocides, abominations in the generations enough, and I am not your mobile, you piece of a scum. And I'm not gonna be, and I'm gonna put you in hell, and you're gonna go die. To write them and I'm sorry for your specialized, illiterated, you're gonna go die in smoothly Sankivak. Not English, perras. You are gonna go to hell, and I'm gonna put you dead, and you are gonna die like hell you are, and ever after. Salah. So this is the reality, and I'm sorry the terms. Rembotle kirve fach mi kalk biale besakti kishmoteva bla. Ang rebachale bisople besmatin. Give fach matzeles matzir. I never signated you a thing. I am not a cycle denial. I am not a fetish. I am not a fag. I am not a whore. I am not a big word. I am not a delusional. I don't liar. I'm not chunky. I am not prostitute. Neither my house and neither my nation. And no one of mine, and you corrupted, destroyed, suppressed, murdered, and I'm gonna put you like that in your own disgusting sauce. So at the well of us, and at the reality of this is all over, and what you've done to my people and you've done to me, I'm gonna make you birth in hell ever after, that you to rot in hell, you piece of a son of a, and forever. Shallah. HTTPS www.odrcmtic 44341 BMICITXI4 4349 Tancam Com BM Tech Colc F443 8004 Presidencia, Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Derechos Argentinos. Tomamos lo que queremos, cuando queremos, de quién queremos y decidimos nosotros de vida y muerte. Seremos gloriosos entre todos los hombres y reconocerán nadie fuera de nosotros. Delirá. Perras. DMCIT MTIC 4143 and 441 for Penkek DMC says IF 443.INT systems. Recall it 4. At this October the 6th, actually the 7th, Wednesday, 1329, Buenos Aires, and at the reality of what I just said, and this is not a video of no Policía Federal Argentina, and no video of no presidents of Argentina, nothing to consider about, no security and nothing to say we control and we are gonna make injustice, which never happens, which keeps on murdering and destroying and getting inside of houses of my people to say, I come to, hey there, it's all okay, what is any problem? And destroying and murdering and saying they has rights. Sick shit, Argentina del infierno sodomita. I'm gonna put you in hell sooner. Completely. And you're gonna serve with you. Salah.